Hey guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip. Welcome back to our channel, the place that we hang, that we eat, drink matcha tea, green tea, coffee. What are you guys eating and drinking? What time of day is it at 5:22 a.m. Saturday, November 30th? Where are you this time of day? What part of the world are you in? Thank you for allowing me your time. I know that is the currency on the web. And our time is very precious. So thank you for allowing me to be part of your day. Guys, I've spoken about this content creator. Her name is Trixie. And she doesn't have a lot of subscribers, and her videos aren't really getting out there, and they need to get out there because she uses a lot of sense in what she says about Gypsy Rose. And she's also, I believe, a court reporter in Missouri, so she understands how things run there. She's done a video on Mike Stanfield and how she feels that Mike Stanfield has crossed a line when it comes to his job as far as being a lawyer to Gypsy, and how there's a contradiction of interest. You know, so she goes over David Diddy Blanchard. They call him Diddy. David Diddy Blanchard. He's a neighbor that was the first person supposedly in the house after the crime or the act. And there's a couple reports that he gave that were a little different than the ones he gave. Then there's the Dan Glidewell. And who is Dan Glidewell, and how we got the wrong Dan Glidewell? Well, we needed to just do our homework a little bit better, you know, and then we would have known that that was the wrong Dan Glidewell. So, and we know this, and nobody's done anything about it. First of all, it's not Gypsy's job to give us Dan Glidewell. You know, actually, those people that were reporting on who Dan Glidewell was were wrong in who they were reporting, you know, and they should take responsibility for that. That their reporting is their reporting. I actually showed pictures of the wrong Dan Glidewell because I took somebody else's information. That's why sometimes, you know, you got to check your stuff. So I'm just as guilty, right? So the new Dan Glidewell has nothing to do with the old Dan Glidewell. And it has nothing to do with somebody throwing a Dan Glidewell in our face. It was just the fact that it was just bad reporting on those people, including myself, that put up a picture of the wrong guy. But then you get people like Becca Scoops, who has facts. And it's more than theory. And you have somebody like this woman named Trixie, who seems to have facts. And her videos just aren't getting seen, but yet there's a lot of information that needs to be heard and seen so that the narrative of Gypsy Rose can continue to turn to the truth, right? Because that's what I want. I want mainstream media to catch on to what exactly happened that night and what exactly is the truth about Gypsy Rose Blanchard. And this Munchausen by proxy ain't the truth. It was just a very convenient story to get her out, because that was the only thing that he felt Mike Stanfield, her public defender, thought could get her out. And what kills me is that he knowingly knew better. Allegedly. But if you came up with the Munchausen by proxy, and you can only diagnose with somebody with Munchausen by proxy with them being alive, you must have known somewhere along the line that maybe it's the wrong information, allegedly. And now he's her manager, she's paying him. Yeah, that's a little bit of a contradiction there of interest. Huge conflict of interest, but people don't want us to look at that. People don't really want us to look at the several different stories that Gypsy has told us about the unaliving of her mom, all of which are bullshit and untrue. Once I became aware of the fact that Gypsy was a liar, and I started looking into the case more, I started thinking, yeah, she had something to do with this. She's evil to the bone. She's capable. She's capable of unaliving people. Maybe that's something that's a lie that she's going to keep forever and never give away. But she certainly is capable of unaliving people, because I believe that Gypsy can come up with reasons. She came up with these manufactured reasons to why Ryan was a horrible person, when she gave Ryan all the reasons to be horrible and untrusting of her. And then she got mad and was like, but he didn't trust me and he wanted to put me in a box. Yo, bitch, you cheated on the guy and he felt it. And then you gaslit him. So, I mean, what do I say? Own your shit, Gypsy Rose. Own your shit. God, you should know what it tastes like at this point. You're so full of it, in every direction gone. You are just a wackadoodle mother. Not even, we can't even use that word. I don't even want to use that word when it comes to you. You know, you lived a pretty privileged life for a nobody. And I don't mean the kind of nobody that Morbid talks about. I mean, for really like a low-life nobody. You, Gypsy Rose, who couldn't tell the truth if it bit her in the ass. Most unattractive woman from the inside out. And then just didn't care that you made yourself appear younger. And you knew better. You knew better. You knew when you were singing that high-pitched voice that you weren't 13 years old. You knew every time you cuddled up to somebody and tried to do something, you knew how old you were. And you knew how old you were when you got laid for the first time, Gypsy. So come on, let's be real. And you knew who you were when you sent your dad all those pictures and then turned around and blamed it. It turned around and blamed the shit on Aaliyah, right? The girl down the road, right? And you know what? Somebody, and it might have been Trixie, somebody put up a video that I saw where they were thinking that maybe you wrote all those messages to Rod and Christy back in the day, because the spelling's atrocious, and Dee Dee, she was educated. She was educated, and you spell phonetically. So, you know, that's something. I'd love to get back into those text messages and read them with fresh eyes, because those text messages or those emails or those Facebook things under your mom's and your Facebook page, yeah, I believe wholeheartedly you wrote all of those. And I can't remember who put that video out, but they need kudos. I need to find that video. It might have been Trixie. I'm not sure, but they went over all these emails and were basically showing the spelling, the way things were worded, and all that was consistent with Gypsy, not with Dee Dee. So supposedly the stuff that was being written to Rod from supposedly Dee Dee and the shit she was writing to Christy came from Gypsy.
So I'm pretty sure that I just figured out that Gypsy had been impersonating her mother for years on Facebook, allegedly. This might get a little confusing, so just try to pay close attention to the little details. So this is from Twitter. Take a look at this and how the writing is, okay? You can see these parentheses, hugs, all in caps. This is their shared profile, the one that status was posted to, okay? We all know that one. Look at the way the writing is. Keep this in mind. And I also want you to keep in mind that Dee Dee went to college, okay? She was college educated. You'll see a lot of misspelling when Dee Dee is messaging people. This was Gypsy's secret private profile that her mom never knew about, that eventually became a joint account after an incident that happened with her dad. Dee Dee probably never even knew about this fake story that Gypsy made up and posted onto Facebook when it was really, you know, pew-pew her mother with a BB gun. You'll probably have to pause and go back, but look at the spelling on these. Look at how every single word is almost spelled incorrectly. These are messages to Christy about a time when Gypsy sent inappropriate photos to her dad and was talking a whole bunch of smack on Facebook. And she's pretending to be Dee Dee here. All of this wasn't Dee Dee talking to Christy. I bet Christy didn't even know that.
And people need to hear that and step back and relook at those those messages. This is somebody who is evil to the core, who can't help themselves, who is going to end up incarcerated again because they can't help themselves. They can't get out of their own way. They will never find enough happiness. That's why they keep looking over at Ryan. And Ryan is not their source of happiness. Ken is not their source of happiness. The baby is not their source. There is not enough money in the world. Gypsy Rose is a miserable person that cannot get her fill of anything. She is never going to feel better or think better of herself than the piece of trash she is. Yeah, I said it. You're a piece of trash. You're a piece of trash that unalived your mom and took your mom's legacy out because you weren't strong enough to shine on your own, Gypsy. You weren't strong enough. You weren't strong enough to wait and try to get Ken back without using somebody to make Ken jealous and give you a place to live on your own. You weren't strong enough to stay in a bedroom at your stepmom's house and your dad's house because you didn't want somebody telling you what to do, because you know it all, this life that you led 100% perfectly while you are manipulating the weaker-minded people. That is coercive control, and it's against the fucking law. And Mike Stanfield has stood around and watched it happen. So when it happens again, oh, Mikey boy, it's all your fault. You get to share some of the responsibility in that. And Mike Stanfield, I want to know, what the hell did Dee Dee Blanchard ever do to you that she deserved to have her whole legacy rewritten because of the person that you defended who out and out lied to you? And we know this because she admitted, I couldn't even tell the lawyers the truth. I didn't even tell the lawyers the truth.
Why is that fair? Especially when you have somebody like Gypsy who's going to say this and tell me, Mike, do you feel stupid? Because if I was her lawyer, I'd feel stupid, ashamed, and say maybe we need to reevaluate the situation. So let's just hear what Gypsy has to say about this. Hang on, Mike.
I've not been honest. Besides being honest, my attorneys, even that I should have been completely honest with them. So.
What? What'd she say? She wasn't honest with her attorneys? Let's listen again.
I've not been honest. Besides being honest, my attorneys, even that I should have been completely honest with them.
Yeah, she wasn't honest with her attorneys. Mike Stanfield, and you know that now.
Isn't that what she said? Well, she was wearing her horizontal outfit, the horizontal stripes, when she was talking live to everybody in the world, when that was on mainstream media, and she turned around and said, yeah, I even lied to my attorneys. Oh, how stupid they are. She didn't say stupid, but you bought into it, so you are stupid. But I take that back because you gave her the script. Excuse me, just like the damn cop with the red hair that said something about giving her the idea, oh, you were being threatened, weren't you? It wasn't you, you mousy little bitch, that was responsible for unaliving your mom. It's the mean guy with the autism that's responsible for unaliving your mom, right? Because it couldn't be you, you mousy little No, it's you, you mousy little fuck. You did it all on your own because you're greedy?
Oh, no.
We want to go back to square one. You don't want to do that. Put you far into this, you don't want to go back to square one. How can I go back and tell all your loved ones and your friends that you love them? As you told Mr. Hancock why this happened. Because I go back and I tell them, hey guys, I can't tell you why. They're going to be sad. There's so many of them that protect you and want to protect you. And all of them have told me this. Everybody I've talked to says, tell them we love her. Tell them we care about her. Tell them that you got a lot of friends. And we've talked to them all, okay? And every one of them want to know. That's kind of why I want you to be honest with me about this, okay? About some things, all right? So, we need to, I'm here, okay? Because I don't think that this is something that you, the intention wasn't there. I don't think you're a bad person. I really don't. I think that you're a smart person, okay? I think that you sometimes you get dealt bad hand, and I think sometimes that's what's happening with you, okay? And I want you to understand that you need to be honest with me. And if you're involved in anything that I'm about ready to tell you, then you need to tell me, okay? Your mom's dead, okay? Now, what I want to ask you is, your mom's.
And that's who you are. And now that these content creators are looking at things with new eyes, you can't help but look like shit, Gypsy. You are pure shit. And you deserve exactly what you get. And it's not a life of happiness. You will never achieve happiness because There is no such thing as happy. When you're happy, you break down and cry. I would have taken the time in your 8.5 years in jail or prison to honestly spend time working on yourself so that you could find happiness instead of trying to demolish people on the way to your happiness. What do you guys think? Guys, check out Trixie. I'm going to put her link below because she's hard to find on YouTube, but she's so well worth it. And please like and subscribe. Subscribe to her channel. I highly recommend it because she does put out some really very fact-finding videos. And, you know, she's got her theories, and her theories are okay. And if you look at the paperwork and the autopsy and you match up her theories, I could see where that could be believed and bought into. Absolutely. I always thought Gypsy had something to do with the unaliving of her mom. I don't know if it's quite in the way that Trixie and Candace Starr think, but it doesn't matter. Dead's dead, you know what I mean? And that sure is what Dee Dee Blanchard is. And, you know, there ain't no way in hell that I'll ever believe that she deserved that after looking at this. And after Gypsy opening up her own mouth, I believed it until Gypsy started opening up her own mouth and telling untruths. And that's when I was like, whoa, let's relook at the crime scene again. And, oh, Gypsy, you F-U-C-K'd. All right, guys, be better today than you were yesterday. Not half as good as you'll be tomorrow. Always, always be kind, guys. Never be Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Thank God there's only one of them.